Can't just clear the head. To get it to lift its sword and open the gates, I need to clear the arms too. Lackluster! Need to check for more patrol units nearby.
The fight is on! Break, darkness! Try that again.
The water is drained. Time to head to the bell tower. That monster is hiding in the depths of the aqueducts. Just this gate standing between me and the heart of the aqueducts. It won't open. I'll have to find another route. Huh? Huh. The copper mirror is calling. The warrior used it to see the past. I wonder if there's anything of that here.
I've already pulled that body from the sea.
Excellent, Domina Julia. Keeping one's word is the foundation of any solid partnership. I know, Septimonte's current effort doesn't quite heed the Senate's wishes, but we'll see to that. A cup of poisoned wine, a passing fly, a dagger. Fate strikes where least expected. With someone as clever and calculated as you at the helm, the House of Silver need not fear for its survival.
I do not work with you for our sake. I do this for Septimont. Some of us have forgotten the terror of life adrift at sea. To survive the tide, one must make the right choices. We'll speak of other matters later. But tell me, why would you want a dead woman who fell into the sea?
Dead woman? Ah, you mean Mia? Indeed, she is the very heart of the unit I spoke of. The one we intend to build deep within these underground aqueducts. Alive or dead, her body holds the information we need. The Fraxidus's experiments here will continue for some time. In the meantime, covering up this little laboratory's existence will require your assistance, madam.
The heart? That weakling's resonance abilities were meager at best. Her performance in the arena was nothing special. If it weren't for those incompetent fools in the Senate using her as a puppet to shift the attention and anger of the masses, she wouldn't even have made it to the finals.
Do not be upset, my dear Domina. You're absolutely right. The girl is so feeble she can't resist her creator's will in the slightest. Winning the Grand Aegon was precisely what brought the shadow of death upon her. Luck and misfortune, nobility and lowliness, weakness and strength. A person's nature is like two sides of a coin. And I've always found beauty in inevitable tragedies.
So Mia has been dead all this time. She didn't leave Septimont when she vanished. The sea took her. This place has the Fraxidus written all over it. Without the Silvers keeping the place hidden, they wouldn't have dared. Ugh, the irony. A Septimontian aiding the enemy to build their den in the heart of our city. Even the impregnable Griffon's fortress crumbles from within.
I trust you've seen the experimental unit in the aqueducts. Well, what do you think?
If not for the sword embedded in her chest, I could mistake the corpse for being alive.
Indeed. Decades have passed, yet Mia remains as she was when first pulled from the sea. Her data has been invaluable. As the Threnodian's failed resonator, this specimen is in its own way remarkable. You know, it wasn't so long ago that the rover intervened and Cartathea broke free from that tower. I discovered that a small piece of the Threnodian's essence within Mia was reawakened with the tower's resurgence into our world.
Sounds as though you found new inspiration.
Yes. Septimont will host the Great Aegon soon. I've come up with a rather intriguing idea. Before her death, Mia also attended the tournament. I'll use that as the fictitious anchor to craft a play to rewrite reality itself. I've already discussed terms with it and reached a modest agreement.
You spoke with the Threnodian. Has Leviathan already awakened?
Only a fragment of it remains. A weakened, cunning shard, desperate to grow stronger. I'll fashion a story for this sea creature, enabling it to fulfill what it once sought, to have the dark tides swallow Septimont whole. The Threnodian once sought to use Mia to find Septimont's central hub in order to corrupt the beacon system. Even if met with failure, it would control the champion's mind to infiltrate the city's upper echelons. Oh well, it all failed in the end. In the face of her futility to resist corruption, that girl chose death. She drove a sword into her heart and leapt into the sea before choking on her own blood. Fascinating, isn't it? Faced with the same predicament, strength and weakness still make a difference. The Blessed Maiden single-handedly thwarted the Threnodian's designs in Raguna, but this poor soul had no choice but to take her own life. A death so theatrical, so saturated with sorrow. How poetic. How beautifully tragic.
I don't care for your taste, Cristoforo. I'm merely curious. What ending have you penned for Septimont this time?
Oh, such an impatient reader, Frolova. This play is nothing more than an amplifier, designed to nurture the Threnodian's lingering power. Once it grows large enough, I'll overlay the Sonoro onto reality. All that's needed is for Domina Julia to select the right champion. Swapping out the protagonist is hardly a challenge. Once the sea creature grows within the cradle I forged from the dark tide, the hymn of journeying paradise will spread from Septimont across Renacita. Really, compared to those Septimontians who've long forgotten Mia, the story I've written for her is far more thrilling. Don't you agree?
And what if it fails?
Then so be it. You know, Frolova, stories are but mankind's attempt to imagine and rehearse fate. If this play proves Rover worthy of becoming the protagonist of my story, if they pass their trial by fire, then isn't that a victory as well?
Disgusting. To treat Septimont like a plaything. Unforgivable. What is so poetic or romantic about a story where someone is driven to death?
Still lingering, Mia. A fading reverberation that should have dissolved in the deep long ago.
Where are you going?
To claim the title. Was that not your unfulfilled wish?
That was never mine. The arena. I don't need this victory.
But I do. Without a champion and the lion beast, I cannot touch the central hub left by Imperator. You, Cartithia, both my daughters, my very creations. Why this fruitless resistance? Has Septimont ever granted you kindness? They neither love you nor need you. Long have you been forgotten.
We were raised by them. You
You'll never understand.
Proud in battle, and yet yearning for strength. I know the heart of the Septimontians far better than you. Mia, you are simply too afraid to face their true nature. You choose to deceive yourself. You cannot admit that they used you, and then cast you aside. You cannot accept that from the start you were insignificant.
No. Viburnum. My flowers.
Hush, it matters not. Your thoughts are of little consequence.
Viburnum. The bloodleaf viburnum of Septimont. Oh, I understand. It's a flower often given to gladiators. A symbol of victory. I've always carried this shame. Shame for something I didn't choose. Shame for something that's just there. Sometimes it turns into doubt. I try to live free, and I do most days. But still, I see it. I see the pain in their faces. In the ones who fall behind, the ones who leave the field beaten. The ones who pin all their hopes on me. I've always wondered if I didn't have this gift, could I have reached this point with clean hands? Should I have judged those who trampled the rules to survive? Or was I blind to my own arrogance? Now, I don't think like that anymore. The warrior is stronger than me, no doubt, but she treats everyone the same. She didn't choose to stand alone. Instead, she chose to trust me. Cartothea spent years trapped by the weight of everyone's expectations. Never stepped foot in Septimont before, but still sailed across the seas to be here. And Mia, her resonance ability might be weak, but she never ran from a fight. She fought till her last breath. A heart isn't shaped by what it's born with or what it's been given. I've underestimated others, and I've underestimated myself too. But you, the arrogance, thinking you understand the darkness in people's hearts, but you don't have a single drop of life in you! Beautiful as ever. The Griffon's fortress. My city, Septimont. Built by the hands of the people, not the Sentinel and not the Threnodian. Where there's light, there's always shadow. But people need light. They'll chase it no matter what. And they'll learn to live with the shadow. Mia,
Cartothea! They were born and raised on these islands! They are daughters of Renasita! They belong to no gods but their own!
Was it real? Was it mine? Was it worth it? Sometimes I feel like a player distressed and threats by the screen. All I know is my desire and my love won't fade. I'll set a fire and fix your shades.
Better to die than to be a puppet. Death does not scare me.
If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Victory isn't won in an instant. It takes patience and perseverance. I believe in you, warrior. I swear, by the eternal sun, I will slay you!
From the fear and the longings of civilization, I was wrought. Born of the hearts of countless men and women, of babes and of the aged. With sharp blades and silver tongue, you struggle for power and revel in the slaughter of the arena. From past to present, nothing has changed.
What right do you have to judge the people of Renasita? Mia chose her end with dignity. Your very existence is an insult to her. Look at you cowering in this little incubator, desperate to evade your end. You will never understand what it takes to face the fear of death. Into the spotlight! Triumph at the spear tip! Time to fight!
A human life is nothing more than a scream between life and death. The tide calls! Pray to me!
Burn to dust! The fight is on! Greatness has no summit, and victory is never the final word. Proud! Pitiful! Cry! Love! Race to the finish! To face death with the crown of glory! By my will! Let this light burn in all its fury!
To me,
There is no greater joy in this world.
What a shame. Seems the play I've written isn't well received.
what are you two plotting in Renacita?
Oh, dear madam. Let's leave some mystery for the next chapter, shall we?
There is something no one can take from me. All the bruises I've just believe is a solution to my doubts and deepest fears. Glory's not
Lupa.
all within, but blazing to be last minute.
It's real! Both of you are safe.
The Threnodian's frequency is gone. Well done, Lupa.
You found the righteous one and safeguarded Septimont. It's like something out of a knight's tale. No, wait, gladiator's tale?
Ah! Phew! Finally, I can stick my head out. Rover, are you okay?
I'm fine, Abby. What happened to you earlier?
Wait, we're already in Septimont? I was just talking to you, and then boom! It felt like something just covered me. First it messed with my frequency, then I just passed out. Wait, Carthea? And a girl I don't know?
You're lively. Your echo's more boisterous than a tada.
What happened while I was out?
I think it's time we compare notes. Let's fill in this story's blanks, shall we? When I sensed the Threnodian's power here in Septimont, I immediately set out to find its source. It was quite sudden. I slipped through the smallest of cracks to enter this Sonoro, which severed my contact with the outside world. I found Lupa in the city. She had lost her role. We traveled together for a time and discovered the architects of the destruction, the Fraxidus playwright Christoforo and the Threnodian. Sadly, the playwright did eventually erase Lupa's existence. As for me, I descended into the submerged aqueducts where I found the Threnodian. It had inhabited Mia's remains and was hiding within an experimental unit. Unfortunately, I was unable to eliminate it entirely. It evaded me, slipping into hiding. I reasoned that you would sense the anomaly and come to Septimont, so I sought to offer you my aid. I battled the playwright, and in doing so, stripped him of his ability to control the script. Afterward, he, along with the other Fraxidus overseers, fled from me. With that, the Sonoro began to collapse. It was then that we finally met. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous One? Lupa and I formed a few theories during our investigation, though they may not be entirely accurate. In this scenario, where stories manifest as reality, roles define the identities of those within it. To lose your role is to lose both your name and memory. In truth, Mia has long since passed and does not truly exist here. It was Lupa, not Mia, who won the 3-day Aegon. I suspect the stories created by the playwright cannot stray too far from their original frameworks, a limitation of his resonance ability. This is why he erased Lupa's name, swapping her and Mia's identities. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous? The central hub within the Veil of Glory was established by the Sentinel, and it appears no one had ever entered it before. Activating it requires 2 key conditions: victory, which grants the blessing bestowed by the Lioness of Glory through the Sentinel's mandate, and a trace of the Sentinel's frequency. The Threnodian set its sights on Mia for this very reason, which, in turn, brought its attention to Lupa. I struck a significant blow to the Threnodian within the story, but because I failed to prevent the corruption of the central hub earlier, it endured, drawing strength from that source.
Throughout this journey, I often saw the figures of Lupa and Mia overlap.
It seems the Threnodian was attempting to replace Lupa, hoping to use her to corrupt the hub, siphon its power, and ultimately destroy Renacita. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous? Apart from the playwright, I also encountered 2 other Fraxidus leaders. One, a woman with a bandaged eye, the other a man with scars across his face.
Surely they must be Frolova and Scar. But how is Scar in Renacita?
Unfortunately, I never had the chance to confront either of them directly. I saw them only briefly before they disappeared. I'm not sure why they've gathered here in Septimont. We must prepare for whatever plans they have. Is there anything else you wish to ask, Righteous? The Threnodian's frequency has vanished from Septimont, but I fear this is far from over. There is something else. Perhaps due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting. The Threnodian's pull is growing stronger. Now that I think of it, this could very well be part of the Fraxidus' plan.
You need to head to the Black Shores, Cardathia. They've been dealing with the Threnodian for years. You should go there and run some tests. They'll know how to handle what's coming.
The Black Shores? Is that where you're from? If it's a place you trust, then I will go.
The event that brought forth the dark tide, it must have been my death. After that, the details of the story blur. It repeated so many times. It's hard to remember everything. All I remember is wandering the desolate city streets in a Septimont corrupted by the dark tide, unable to escape, until I met Carter Thea. She saved me. But in that story, we couldn't fully resolve the source of the disaster. Then in another story, I encountered you, my fellow warrior. After we parted, I awoke in yet another story, in the Veil of Glory, where I finally saw the Threnodian's true form in the submerged aqueducts. It had taken control of Mia's corpse, and was using the Fraxidus' Sonoro to grow its power. After defeating it, the Sonoro began to collapse. I passed through those crumbling pages to find you. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back. My death. Well, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey to win the championship. I had failed to expose the family's match fixing. After being deceived by Domina Julia and winning the title on my own, my memories became a blur. I was probably under some form of control. The last thing I clearly remember was standing in the central hub in the Veil of Glory, pressing my spear into something that resembled a control panel. Then the dark tide began to surge. In the end, all of Septimont was swallowed by it. I'm not sure when all this started, or where the line between the reality I knew and the Sonoro world created by the Fraxidus began to blur. But in those 3 days of the story where Carter Thea didn't rescue me, I would always die on the first day, helplessly watching as my home slowly crumbled to dust. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back. Carter Thea saved me. The me who had lost her role and her memories. We wandered the abandoned city of Septimont and pieced together that the Fraxidus and the Threnodian were the true architects of the chaos. Yet in the end, my role was claimed by the Threnodian, and my body disappeared before Carter Thea's eyes. But before I was lost to oblivion, Carter Thea gave me a sliver of her frequency. I think it was that frequency that unknowingly led to our paths crossing in the story. Is there anything else you want to know? I'll hold nothing back. Many years ago, Mia cast herself into the sea to escape the Threnodian's control. But Domina Julia recovered her broken body from the depths and handed it over to the Fraxidus. For years, they subjected her remains to twisted experiments until the Threnodian's essence, still lingering within her, finally awakened. The Threnodian took control of Mia's corpse, turning it into a half-human, half-sea creature monstrosity. It formed an alliance with the Fraxidus. The last trace of Mia's reverberation was forced to be part of it. Is there anything else you want to know? Oh, the script and the copper mirror you gave me. I'll return them to you now. It was a long story, but the ending turned out well. Though, thinking of Mia still upsets me. Her reverberations, trapped in that monstrous body. I can't imagine her suffering over the last 20 years.
When you defeated the Threnodian, you also set her free.
Yes. It was an honor to have that final battle with her. Thanks to you and Carter Thea, I was able to rewrite the tragic ending of this story. Thank you, my fellow warrior, for believing in me.
There's one more thing. We should return to the central hub in Septimont. I found something tied to you there.
The central hub? Good timing. There's something I need to handle in the Veil of Glory, too.
Good. Let's set off together.
When Lupa vanished, I destroyed the experimental unit, pursued the Threnodian, and defeated the Lioness of Glory it controlled. Then, I came across this place. You remember how the Threnodian took on a part of the Sentinel's knowledge and permissions, yes? For the Sentinel, the information stolen was their very memories. For this reason, even the Sentinel forgot that before merging with the Threnodian, they transferred some of their knowledge to the central hub in Septimont.
The knowledge they would later forget.
It was a secret, one the Threnodian should never learn. The Sentinel moved it there for safekeeping. Within it, I found a special frequency. A part of it felt like yours. I believe it's what the Sentinel left for you, so I took it.
Huh?
It seems like a clue. The true secret they left for you is not here, but in that direction. You see, before I came to meet you, I passed by the city of Septimont. The arena I destroyed has been restored, but in the people's hearts, it's still the Righteous One and Lupa who claimed victory. The Fraxidus' power to reshape reality is deeper than we realized. I'm afraid this is just the beginning. I once believed the Threnodians sought to use the Fraxidus to regain power, but its true goal is the central hub. I believe it's due to this secret the Sentinel has hidden.
That direction, it leads to the hunting grounds. The blight cloud still lingers there. When the high tide comes, Septimontians hunt and cull the spawning tacit discords.
The dark tide connects everything. I cannot pinpoint where the Sentinel's message lies. I'm afraid you must go there yourself. But the worst of the storm has passed. Let's take a moment to rest. Lupa, will you be our tour guide? Show us the sights and glories of Septimont? I'd love to hear more about what you mentioned earlier. The wind blowing through golden flags and the sound of wind chimes.
Of course, it would be my honor. But before we go, there's something I need to do first.
Travel through a silver veil above the drifting mist. A shining path, the stars reveal.
It's Mia's sword. I went through a lot to bring it back. The monster is gone now. Like so many Septimontian heroes whose bodies were never recovered, I wanted to return her weapon. This is where she gave her life. I can't say if she loved or hated Septimont more. But she once spoke of the bloodleaf viburnum. It's a tribute often given to gladiators by their supporters. So, I think, she would have wanted to rest here. It's beautiful. Our city. The city of glory. The people here love to drink, laugh, carve statues, and hunt. It burns like fire, drenched in both victory and defeat. It holds all our disappointments. And all our hopes.
Nest where thunder sleeps in the fallen breeze.
You've come, warrior.
Are you drinking?
Just wheat juice.
Sure. Wheat juice.
Ah, today you... Oh, you smell nice. Like dried wheat. Warm. Well, that's just what I think. When I was little, I used to roll in the wheat fields. It's good to have my fellow warrior by my side.
Lupa, you've had enough wheat juice. Sit. Take a break for a moment.
Even though it's over, there's still a heaviness. A drink helps. I've sent word to the F4's palace about Domina Julia. But finding the silvers that fled will take time. Four years ago, Augusta won the title of champion. Since becoming F4, much of the corruption tied to the arena has been cleared. If Mia had lived, perhaps things would have been different. Sometimes I wonder, what would my life have been like if my parents hadn't handed me over to the Silvers when we first came to Septimont? Huh. Just like one of those stories with the different endings.
Have you ever thought about living a different life, Lupa?
No need. I'm content with what I have. For everything gained, something is lost. But through it all, I met you. That's enough. Life is an arena. Victory and defeat are a part of that. No one wins forever. The more victories, the higher the expectation, and the heavier the weight of defeat. Do you fear that one day you might face defeat? You seem to live to meet others' expectations. This is what you're used to, I'd say. Even if one day you meet defeat, remember this. Those you've helped will never let you face it alone. I may not have your strength, but should you call, I will meet you on the battlefield, no matter the distance. I swear it, by the eternal sun, my fellow warrior.
Ah. It's all gone now. But I'll ask the tavern keeper if he can prepare something for you later. Oh, the Loris salad was as delightful as ever. Well worth reacquainting myself with, so I can make a bowl myself. Fresh, crisp, sweet. Come, sit with me. Let's enjoy a moment of peace. Yes, and so, I've been thinking about what I vowed to you before. To savor the things I desire, visit the places I long for, and meet those I wish to see. To become a roving knight is my true ambition. A wish list is something to be experienced, one step at a time.
I'd say your first wish has already been fulfilled.
The third too, though by unexpected means. Those are my adoptive parents, and their child. Perhaps it was fate's cruel jest. I couldn't find any trace of them after they moved from Raguna, but here in Septimont, I discovered where they had resettled. Only, they no longer recognize me. The truth that I was their daughter was a memory the Threnodian crafted for them, disappearing when it was sealed away in the tower. I don't know what they went through after that fateful day, but at least they are still alive. They even have their own child. They walk here every day, so I come and sit for a while to watch them from a distance.
Cardathea.
It's all right. In fact, I'm at peace with it now. If they had died because of the Order's heavy hand, I would have felt true pain. But this is the best outcome I could hope for. To live 20 years with the weight of a lost child. I don't want to imagine that kind of torment. Besides, through all these twists of fate, all three of my wishes have been fulfilled. Now, if I crave a Loris salad, I can prepare it myself and savor its taste. And I still have many years ahead to see the world and the places I long to visit. As for the people I hope to meet, this unexpected journey led me to find them in another city. The winds of Rinascita always seem to bring me what I seek. I am content.